what is the actual radiation situation in Japan that is not being reported by the government, especially for the island of Honshu, the main island, and are the UFOs sighted in Japan helping to reduce the amount of radiation?
To some degree they are, but specifically they are helping to induce insight into the situation so that the individuals involved can gain greater understanding of what to do and perhaps simply gain understanding and knowledge and answers on their own without necessarily having to rely on what you would call official channels. The idea is that as we take a measurement now in our relay system, the energy is about 10 to 15 to 20 times greater than is being reported. It is understood, however, that some of this information, from the perspective of the people holding on to this information, the withholding is being done from their perspective for a positive reason. Because if they were to release the real amounts, many people would give up hope. It would crush their spirit. This way, they are given manageable amounts. You understand?
I understand.
Now, nevertheless, the people can still receive inspiration for many higher levels of information and come up with whatever solutions are truly required to handle the actual levels of radiation.
Can the people still recover?
Not all, no. Some can, but many won't. As we said, many of them, in coming into this life, understood that they may take themselves out to serve a greater purpose. But again, being eternal beings, they know they can reinstate themselves in physical reality again. And in fact, you will find that some of the children not exposed will actually be instrumental in solving the problem, as you say, because some of the children are, again, to speak linearly, the reincarnations of many of those that died in the atomic destruction during your war. So they have already come in with the knowledge that such a thing could occur again and already actually have the insight and answers necessary. What needs to happen, and this is actually your greatest source of information, is that children between the ages of 3 and 5 need to actually be consulted about this. Because they actually know the answers, but their answers are passed off as fantasy. You need to pay attention. All right? That's the greatest clue we are allowed to give. Thank you.
So Tokyo is 10 to 20 times or
Yes.
the reported level. Okay.
But it is concentrated in a smaller zone than you may think.
How many miles from Fukushima?
10 radius. Thank you.
Did whaling and eating whales by the Japanese cause the recent earthquake in Japan from a karmic point of view?
We do not wish to address it in that kind of a context because that would be very misleading.
Okay. There's rumor. Oh, sorry.
The idea, nevertheless, is that if this experience brings to people's attention, as we said originally in the beginning of this transmission, the need for more clarity on the connection to all things in the world, and seeing the connection and feeling the connection, then the earthquake serves that purpose in conjunction with many other purposes. But it is really an oversimplification and a misunderstanding to put it in those karmic kinds of terminologies. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
But it will bring about greater understanding of the connection to all forms of life, and thus then the new understanding of the kinship that they share with those beings that may have been formerly killed will and can be one of the results if those individuals are willing to explore the idea of the connection brought about by this experience. Does that help?
Yes.
Thank you.
There's a rumor in Japan right now, perhaps a collective fear that there might be another major earthquake in the next 6 months. Could this be true?
The probability is at this point only between 13 and 25%.
Thank you.
There may be a smaller one that we read at about 70 to 80% probability, but it will not in that sense be what you would call of a devastating magnitude. That is how we read the probability now. Remember, there is no such thing as a prediction of the future. There is only a sensing of the energy that exists at the time the prediction is made.
Right.
But as we read the collective consciousness of that culture and the world, this is what we read at the moment in your collective energy patterns. Now, as there are also other things going on around the world, you may find that there may be a higher degree of probability in other places, as you have recently come to understand from volcanic eruptions in your southern hemisphere, so on and so forth. So there are also other kinds of manifestations that are occurring, not just because of the way the collective society is arranging these things to be experienced, but some of these things are actually acting as release valves for other portions of the planet. You follow?
Yeah.
All right.
Do the use of marijuana, mushrooms, or DMT hold an individual back from being able to shift into higher planes or consciousness?
Depends on how they use the substances that naturally occur on Earth. They are there to be used as triggers, as guideposts, to give insights to how you can allow yourself to create that vibrational state on your own without the use of the trigger. So, using it a few times in that sense to gain some idea, some experience with what the vibration is, can be of service. Using it all the time because you think you need it all the time is completely missing the point. Okay. Because it's there to show you that you can simply create that vibration because you're creating it anyway. Remember what we said about permission slips?
Yes.
They're just permission slips. You're doing it anyway. So, the idea is that if you get the point, you can simply create those states of being, and then you don't need the symbol from that point forward. Now, DMT in that sense, as you say, dimethyltryptamine, is something a little bit different in that it is produced naturally already within your pineal gland. And it is in that sense that which causes the permission slip of chemical interactions that allows you to perceive into other dimensionalities, which is why in that sense you dream. But during the dream state are also communicating with other dimensions of experience, other beings, other consciousnesses. So the idea of the regulation of DMT in certain ways, which again doesn't necessarily mean you have to take it externally, but the idea of the amplification of it even within the production of your own body through the pineal gland, through certain exercises and meditations or imaginations and visualizations, can allow you greater utilization, greater amplification of DMT from the pineal gland so that you can have clearer insight and clearer communications with beings in other levels of reality as well. This is most often effective between what you call 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. of your time frame. Do you follow?
I follow.
And this is why many people report interactions with other beings from other realities most often between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. because their gateways are open. Their perception is open. The veils are thinner in a sense. You follow?
I follow.
Does this help you?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Are some clouds light ships?
Very, very few.
Very few.
Yes, very few. There are a few ships in that sense that can create the illusion of cloud, or some ships that may even sometimes use a real cloud in that sense for a variety of reasons, but it is not anywhere near as many people on your planet think. Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
All right, thank you.
There's an individual by the name of Alex Collier who said that if ET races were to contact us, it would start from Japan. Alex Collier claims to have been in contact with the Andromedan race in the fifth dimensional plane.
Why would it start in Japan?
I have no idea.
All right, well, there you go.
Okay.
It is starting in a number of places. It has been going on for a long time. It started long ago.
Right.
Before there even was a Japan.
Right.
You understand?
I understand.
It's an ongoing thing. Yes, it's had its cycles. Yes, it has, in a sense, had different degrees of contact over different periods of your history, as you call it. But so what? You will attract yourself to whatever you need to hear. When you need to hear it. Not a second before, but not a second later. If it works for you, use it. If it doesn't, you'll find what you need somewhere else. If it resonates with you, fine. If it doesn't, fine. Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Is the moon a base, and what is really going on there?
No.
It's not a base.
No. Are you talking about the idea of something that belongs to your own planet?
Yes.
No.
Extraterrestrial?
Yes.
Can you tell me what's going on there?
No.
Okay. What
That
can
will
I
do.
Sorry.
That
Go
will
ahead.
do.
Oh, that would do. Okay.
That will do.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bashar, if I may, since the topic came up of whales and dolphins
Yes.
being killed by Japan
And others.
and others, because they're sentient species
Yes.
equivalent to the consciousness evolution of humans,
Yes.
what are some of the consequences of not recognizing the sanctity of their lives and a population insisting on going out and harpooning them and blowing
Let
them up?
me ask you this question. How does it assist your mobility to not cut your arms and legs off?
So what you're saying is that dolphins and whales
Are
act-
members of your family. And thus then, by divesting yourself in that way of members of your family, you are less capable of functioning holistically and having all the information at your disposal required to live holistically on your planet. Because they are a big piece of the puzzle. They have information you need. Understand, if you would really learn to communicate with them fully, there are so many things in the ocean they know about that would aid and assist some of the things going on the surface of your planet that you know nothing about that they could tell you about, that many of the things you're going through would be completely unnecessary or easily solvable. They can bring you knowledge. They are part of your family. So those in the sense that choose to eliminate parts of their family are not working, well, euphemistically, with a full deck.
So is there a message that can...
I just gave it. If you want to work with a full deck, if you want to have access to all the information of your planet that would allow you to exist on your planet in a joyful way, include all the members of your family.
And for example, the humpback whales that emit songs, and they seem to be driving these songs down into the heart of the planet.
Yes.
Is that in some way helping to balance the Earth?
You know it is.
Yeah, I guess I do. But I guess I'm just interested in conveying to those...
It's not the only thing it's doing.
What else is it doing?
It is, in that sense, also, again, information about the nature and structure of reality. Let me put it to you this way. If humans were to collect about 1 year's worth of whale song and translate it properly, at this moment they would find answers to about 57 questions that are plaguing your scientists.
So for those individuals in Japan that are supportive of the idea of the cessation of killing whales and dolphins,
Yes.
is there something that we can suggest for them to do within their population to help
Share the
change?
information I just gave you. They are part of a family. Without them, you are missing something. You are missing the information you need to live on your planet in total joy. This goes for other beings as well, not just dolphins and whales. They're all one part of a big family.
And it's a wonderful family.
It is.
So thank you.
Thank you.